Queen Esther Code, the Tree Code. The Book of Esther contains the name of truth, but only in code form. It has been said the code is the Tetragrammaton, YHVH, Yad-He-Vah-He. Esther symbolizes the code as a messianic type. In the patriarchal diatribe, where they have an individual whose life is a prophetic picture of the Messiah, it is always a man. Yet, the woman is consistently a symbol of the people of the Holy One, the Holy Grail. In Esther 5:14, the word gallows is actually a mistranslation. It literally reads that Haman wanted to hang Mordecai from a tree. Here is the first clue that the word tree is a hidden code. Trees are used to model hierarchical structures, such as the Kabbalah tree of life. It turns out that the Persians, now turned Iranians, were the ones who actually invented crucifixion, and the tree refers to the pole on which a victim was bound or impaled. The Kabbalah tree is a teaching meant to explain the relationship between the unchanging, eternal, and the mysterious, the infinite material, and the difference between the mortal, finite creation, the fabrication. Haman is the stand-in for the world ego, the adversary that wants to crucify Mordecai, symbolizing higher states of consciousness. In the end, Haman is crucified upon the very tree which was intended for his enemy. Esther 9:10. Here is another example where tree code plants a secret message. In the same way, the world, the ego, the adversary, instigated one's personal crucifixion, but is spoiled by its own plan to hurt and deceive. The world ego, in a sense, falls into its own trap, where the higher consciousness, Mordecai, raises one up to the winning goal, Queen Esther. One speaks of the goddess wisdom as a mystery, wisdom that has been hidden, which was foreordained before the world, the ego, for one's glory, which none of the rulers of this world or ego has known, for had they known it, wouldn't have crucified the lover of glory. 1 Corinthians 2:7. This tree code's meaning wisdom is secret and hidden before time began. We know wisdom is feminine, the mystery that has been hidden, and that which was destined before time. The lover of glory represents the overcomer of ego. The overcomer comes from Greek word nikao, which means to conquer, to gain victory over. to gain victory over the nothing, the illusion, the world, the ego. Mikhail appears over 20 times in Revelation, where it means to have victory over hostile power. The Messiah is the concept of oneness as a reflection of wholeness, where one ends the old living deception as a person in order to awaken to the unity of oneness. Soul is divine, Queen Esther, which means star and represents the branch. In today's vernacular, it would say, there is only one branch. In today's vernacular, it would say, there is only one bank and there is only one branch. There is only one branch, the star. She remains in me. The higher consciousness, the bank. Truth. The same bears much fruit, for apart from me, truth, one cannot do anything. Revelation 14:13 speaks of the one who has died to the illusion, but is alive within truth. This is far more than just an illustration. One must overcome any idea of separation or otherness from truth. Truth is the sublime mystery, the ultimate mysticism, a union that every religious and educational system misses because of seeking it of one's own understanding. Coded in the book of Esther, the DNA of truth is the symbology that one has now come for such a time as this. The family tree here represents an organizational structure. For example, Mordecai, Esther's uncle, asks, then tells Esther that she is no safer than anyone else here. For if you remain silent now, relief will come from another place, but this culture will perish. Who knows if you haven't come to the kingdom for such a time as this? Esther 4:13. The scripture gives this narrative as a race of people. A tree code is a data structure like Kabbalah, and in computers is a full binary tree representing a coding programming of a collection of entities called nodes, which are connected by edges. Each node contains a value or data and may or may not have a child node. The first node of the tree is called root. If this root is connected by another root, the root is then a parent node, and the connected node is a child. But the code within Esther the star is that sublime spark, Sirius. The adamantine particle within is the truth's intercession granted through love that awakens one to the sleeping reality residing within. The book of Esther emphasizes one is to unlock one's sublime destiny to resurrection. Starting with Esther, Sirius replacing Vashti, the outer beauty, the world, the ego, which must be uprooted. Esther's uncle Mordecai represents the surrender and the outmaneuvering of limited ego. In computer programming and Kabbalah, all tree nodes are connected by links called edges. It is an important part of trees because it manages the relationship between nodes. Esther, Sirius, the adamantine particle, proved a wise and most worthy opponent, all the while remaining humble and respectful to the position of the king, the inner authority. In the book of Esther, one is given a behind-the-scene look at the ongoing struggle of the world ego against the purpose of truth, and especially against the promised Messiah. The book of Esther shows the idea of choice as only an illusion, because the only reality is truth. One's inner reality proved. One has teachable mindset, and one has shown a great strength and obedience. Esther's humility was different from the attitude of those around her, and this caused her to be elevated into the position of queen. In this age of attention-grabbing and seeking and popularity-driven culture, it is difficult to only desire to be a vessel for truth. One has done well to emulate Queen Esther's attitude in all areas of the living experience, but especially in trials. Not once having sought fame, nor complained. Not having a bad attitude is the mark of having tasted inner favor. Being granted truth's favor, one may accept unfairness or being ignored by following Queen Esther's example of maintaining a positive attitude coupled with sincere love and only relying on truth. When one acknowledges truth, one is put in position for such a time as this. The celestial response can only be positive. Tree code as a simulation program for self-consistent and dash body or no body simulation has leaves the last nodes on the tree. They are nodes without children. Like real trees, there are roots, branches, and finally the leaves, which represents the laurel crown. The light Queen Esther represents, truth has not hidden her face, and she will never forsake the promises made. In Esther 7:7, the world ego comes to realize its goose is cooked and poetic justice is meted out. This is a beautiful way to receive confirmation that truth is not hiding her face. One knows and trusts everything has been provided in order for one to stand in the face of the evil day. One knows this message is a love letter in the form of the book of Esther. What a beautiful statement and assurance in the wonderful story of Queen Esther. The name Esther means something hidden or secret within, and that which is hidden has depth which can never be fathomed. In Kabbalah, the tree of life is the symbolic representation of sublime order and the interconnectedness within. The tree is made up of 10 divine emanations or attributes called sephirot, which are connected by lines. These symbolize that point beyond which one's comprehension cannot go. Consider the infinity of one explodes into many. A binary tree is a tree data structure in which each node has at most 2 children, referred to as left child and right child. Binary tree is a collection of nodes. Each node has 3 attributes: value, left child, and right child. Sirius, Andromeda, Aphrodite. The interesting point about some of the coding that is encoded in the book of Esther, the body of Sirius, is that there is a prophetic message of a future event, meaning this code is about Haman's 10 sons, being that they be honed again tomorrow. These 10 signs represent the overcoming the 10 signs of the zodiac. The past and the future are surrendered to the now, the presence. Culturally, this message comes during the rising of Sirius, the greater light. In the Baha'i religion, Sirius is the celestial sign preceding the coming of a new messenger. The teaching says that 2 twin materializations, Andromeda, Soul, and Aphrodite, goddess of love, sublime messengers, mark the end of a cycle and beginning of a new one. One can pass the string A as the value to the binary tree node by printing the value, the left child, and the right child. One can see the value. The twin materialization is union of inner truth with outer nature within the physical instrument. This method complements the insertion to a new mode to the right and left. In the Bible, the Book of Light, Revelation 4, 8 through 11, Revelation 5, Revelation 15, 1 through 8, Revelation 22, 16, all represent the concept of restoration, but especially Revelation 22, 16, where Jesus refers to himself as the bright morning star, Venus, the bloodline of immortality, and convey the coming to restore. Just as Sirius, the beautiful celestial body that the night must give way to, Jesus, Isis, or the personality will capture attention as the one who ushers in a new day. Just as the darkness of evil gives way to the brightness of the goddess kingdom, Memphis, the Milky Way galaxy. Ironically, in the Harry Potter series, a scene mirrors Queen Esther's plight, where Voldemort, it is said, tried to kill you when you were a child because a prophecy had been made. He set out to kill you, believing he was fulfilling the terms of the prophecy. He discovered to his cost that he was mistaken when the curse intended to kill you backfired. This is the weapon he has been seeking since his return, the knowledge of how to destroy you. Truth by the world ego. Sirius is also known as the Christmas star, a sign of a fulfilled prophecy, a symbol of hope and expectation of new life during the darkest part of the year or age. The first meaning encoded here, Sirius symbolizes the upside down Kabbalah tree. The person is like an upside down tree in the sense that just as a tree with longer and deeper roots that are sunk well into the ground is better equipped to survive a powerful storm, so too one whose feet are in the clouds, one's intelligence is well rooted in the galactic and celestial, and one has a very good sense of truth, and one's connection to her will be able to weather any storm, and no wind in the world will be able to uproot one. Sirius is the star of resurrection and the star that fulfills a prophecy. All the greatest cultures known espouse Sirius as the great teacher from above. In Asia, Sirius throughout history is referred to as a wish-granting jewel and also honored by a festival of lights. Every great nation has monuments engraved on stones to remember the beautiful adamantine particle called the star Sirius, and the Dogon represent her correctly as Sirius A, B, C. Sirius, Andromeda, Aphrodite, Andromeda's soul, Aphrodite, goddess of love, and the physical consciousness within nature, where she is first encoded as mRNA, messenger RNA, where Sirius radiating higher states of consciousness allows the world ego of the personality to surrender to inner truth. In the book of Esther, Queen Esther and Mordecai symbolize wisdom and inner authority. The first code, the word Kabbalah itself, is a new code name for secret teachings and has two distinct aspects. One reveals the infinite about whom nothing may be known. Two is the sublime presence which emanates in order to reveal truth. A binary search tree is called order or sorted binary tree and keeps value in sorted order so that one can use the principle of binary search tree, which the value is larger than the value of the offspring of its left child, but smaller than the value of the offspring of its right child. The second code is hiddenness. Truth is hidden within. It is easy to feel one is on the battlefield of living alone. That evil treachery is hidden. The truth of one's reality is hidden. One's purpose is hidden, and even the plan is hidden. Sirius awakens one's potential, sublime spark, and one embarks on a transformative journey. The reward of obedience may seem meager by the world or ego standard, but this preparatory stance will prove invaluable in victory when truth is revealed of one's inner connectedness with the greater mystery and the gifting of the infinite possibilities shall prove invaluable in essence. Wholeness and the reflection, oneness, is that intimate place where only one devoted may abide. Here one emerges matured and emboldened to exercise from inner authority. The third code hidden within the book of Esther is the rising. On the Kabbalah tree of life, Kether, the crown, represents one has been raised, having risen above the world or ego. Now, one has realized this higher truth, which gives clarity. Kabbalah literally means that which is received. When using code trees or the code forest, they can be linked together, and one can choose between symmetric and asymmetric and transitive relations. The latter two are directed relations. When using symmetric relation, then the two codes point towards each other. Sirius is the raising to supreme consciousness, whose guidance and protection is the ultimate assurance one has aligned with innate wisdom and is connected with home, Memphis, the Milky Way, and the stars Andromeda and Aphrodite, the celestial breast, where after such a long, arduous journey, one's thirst is quenched. The fourth and final key, encoded as the ceremony of redemption, the journey of redemption. It is the introspection and gratitude of liberation from the gross, the world, the ego, on the Kabbalah tree. This is the alignment of the galactic and celestial with the physical nature, represented as New Year's Eve, the new beginning, and spring equinox, or balance of the inner and outer. This significance has been symbolized as the placing the star atop the evergreen tree. Now the remembrance and redemption is of the transition from the great work to rest. The breakthrough analogous to spring, awakening, enlightenment, and the winter where all is peaceful, silent night. Now the lover of truth has remembered the beloved within. Now one is in the kingdom of truth, symbolized by the king telling Queen Esther her appeal was equal to half the kingdom. One now stands in the gap. The world, ego, humbly and artfully speaking to truth, the only power. One has integrity and dignity restored, and one's secret arsenal of this providential position of authority has allowed one's rightful place to be restored. This mediation serves as the master key encoded in the book of Esther.